Okay, today we're going to talk about adding integers with counters. We've been talking about adding integers with a number line, but let's say you like counters better or counters make more sense to you, then this video is for you. We are going to use red counters as our negatives, and we are going to use white counters as our positives. Now, one important thing that you need to know before we get started, when you have a red counter and a white counter, a negative and a positive that match, what do you think happens? Yeah, they cancel each other out. If this is a -1 and this is a +1, -1 plus a +1 cancels each other out. I'll try to just quickly do my little number line. If you're on -1 and you get +1, you're on 0. If you're on +1 and you get a -1, you're on 0. Opposites cancel each other out. That's an important thing to remember. Okay, so we're using counters. So let's say our problem is -4 plus 6. So to model this with counters, this says that I have -4 and I have +6. So if you look at your counters, what you want to think about is which ones can cancel each other out. Well, this negative and this positive cancel each other out, canceled out, canceled out, canceled out. So what are we left with? Well, we're left with 2. If you subtract 6 minus 4, you get 2. Now, are those 2 positives or are those 2 negatives? You're right, they're 2 positives, and the reason why they're 2 positives is because if you look at our original numbers, 4 and 6, which one has a greater absolute value? Well, 6 does. So, and 6 is positive. That's why our answer ends up being positive. So our answer is +2. Let's try another one. Okay, let's try one that has 3 different plus a -4. We use smaller numbers, so I don't have to use so many counters. So, all right, so I have -3. I have +2. And I have -4. All right, so let's do our canceling out first. These 2 cancel, these 2 cancel, and what do I have left? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negatives left. So my final answer is -5. If I would have at the beginning, which you are allowed to do, put all my negatives together, this is -3 and -4, which equals -7. Then I have a +2, and my final answer, when you subtract those, is 5. The negative has the larger absolute value, so it is -5. So you can see with counters it works the same way. I'm just going to do one more problem with you. So let's do -6 plus 9. Okay, so we have our 6 negative counters. And we have 9 positive counters. We want to try to do is make as many pairs as possible. Cancel, 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 cancel. What are we left with? We are left with 3 counters. 6 minus 9, because they are different operations, we subtract them. 6 minus 9 is 3. Now, there are 3 positives left, so our answer is positive, because if you look at these 2 numbers' absolute values, the absolute value of 9 is greater than the absolute value of -6, and that's positive, so my answer is positive.